Have you ever opened an incognito tab and suddenly felt invisible? Like, yep, nobody can see anything now. I'm off the grid. We've all been there. But here's the truth most people never realize. Incognito mode was never designed to hide you from anyone except for the people who share your device. And once you understand what it really does behind the scenes, you'll see why it's one of the most misunderstood features on the internet. Let's start from the beginning. What incognito mode actually is. When you open an incognito window, your browser basically says, all right, I won't save your history, your passwords, your cookies, but only on this device. That's it. That's the entire magic trick. You're not invisible. You're not anonymous. Your digital fingerprints are still all over the place. A privacy researcher once joked, incognito mode is like wearing a mask, but only inside your own house. And honestly, that's the most accurate definition I've ever heard. Because while your browser forgets what you did, your internet provider doesn't. Your workplace doesn't. Your school doesn't. And the websites you visit definitely don't. In fact, according to multiple telecom transparency reports, ISPs still log your activity whether you're in incognito or not. They see your traffic the same way a security guard sees you walk into a mall, clear as day. And websites? They can still identify you through things like your IP address, your device type, your screen resolution, and even the fonts installed on your computer. Researchers at Princeton showed that device fingerprinting can uniquely identify most users even when they're private. So, while incognito might stop your browser history from snitching on you, the rest of the internet absolutely does not care about your little gray window disguise. Now here's where things get even more interesting. Incognito mode became such a privacy symbol that Google literally got sued for how misleading it was. Back in 2020, a US lawsuit accused the company of tracking users in incognito mode. And during the case, some internal emails surfaced, including one where a Google engineer basically admitted, incognito mode is not truly private. We all know this. That lawsuit eventually forced Google to clarify what incognito actually does and doesn't protect, which tells you everything you need to know. People were using it wrong, and companies weren't doing a great job of correcting them. So if it doesn't hide you, why even use it? Well, incognito mode is useful, just not in the way people expect. It's great for using a shared computer without leaving your history behind. It helps when you want to sign into multiple accounts at once. It's perfect for checking flight or hotel prices with old cookies messing things up. And it's helpful to test how a website looks to a first-time visitor. Where it fails completely is privacy from the outside world. If that's your goal, you're going to need more than a feature designed to hide your searches from your roommate. For real privacy, you need a VPN to hide your IP, a browser that blocks trackers, extensions that stop ads from following you around, and honestly, the habit of logging out of accounts when you want to avoid personalized tracking. Incognito mode doesn't do any of that. It just cleans the slate locally. So here's the real takeaway, and honestly, it might surprise you. Incognito mode isn't bad. It's not useless. It's not some big lie your browser told you. It's just misunderstood. Massively. Most people think clicking that little new incognito window turns you into some kind of online ninja, totally invisible, untouchable, untraceable. But no, that's not how any of this works. Let's break this down like we're talking over coffee. When you open incognito mode, here's what actually happens. Your browser says, hey, whatever you do in here, I won't store it. I won't save your history. I won't keep your cookies, and I won't autofill anything. This is between us. And that's it. That's the whole magic trick. Now notice, it didn't say, I'll hide you from your internet provider. I'll block your employer from monitoring you. I'll stop websites from tracking your behavior. Or my favorite myth, I'll make you completely anonymous. Nope, none of that. Zero. Your ISP can still see what websites you visit. Your employer still sees your traffic on their network. Websites still recognize your device fingerprint. Apps, trackers, advertisers, oh, they're still watching. Incognito mode hides your browsing from your device, not from the internet. Think of it like this. You ever write something on a whiteboard and then erase it before anyone else walks in? That's incognito mode. The writing is gone, but the security camera in the room, that thing, still saw everything. And here's where people get it twisted. Not because they're dumb, but because the name incognito is dramatic. It sounds like a spy feature. It sounds like you're slipping into a disguise and doing something covert. But it's really just, my browser won't remember this. That's why it's great for searching for gifts on a shared computer, logging into an account temporarily, avoiding messy autofill or cookies, opening a second account without mixing logins, or, let's be honest, whatever reason you personally use it for. And all that is fine. No shame in using privacy tools. That's literally what they're there for. But once you step outside your device, the internet still sees you like you're standing under a spotlight. Your IP address? Visible. Your device fingerprint? Things like screen resolution, browser type, system configuration? Still visible. Your connection history? Stored by your ISP unless you're using a VPN. Even Google says this clearly in the incognito disclaimer, but nobody reads it because the mask icon feels way more convincing than the fine print. So, let's make this conversational and clear. Incognito mode means my browser won't remember this. Not, nobody can see this. Huge difference. And once you understand that, everything else starts to make sense. Because real online privacy, the kind that actually protects you, comes from knowing what tools do and what they don't. If you want to hide your browsing from your ISP, you need a VPN. If you want to stop websites from tracking you, you need tracker blockers, privacy extensions, or browsers built for anonymity. If you want to be truly anonymous, that's Tor. Not Chrome, not Safari, not your favorite browser's private mode. Now don't get me wrong. I'm not saying incognito is useless. Not at all. It's useful for exactly what it was designed for. Local privacy. It keeps your device from saving traces of what you did. It stops websites from staying logged in. It gives you a clean browsing session. It helps you avoid some cookie-based tracking. And honestly, it gives you a psychological sense of separation. And sometimes that's important. But the moment you start thinking it protects you on the internet, that's when you get blindsided. Because here's the truth. Your biggest privacy tool isn't incognito. It's awareness. It's knowing what's real, what's myth, and what actually keeps you safe. So now, you're ahead of most people. You understand the limits. You understand the purpose. You understand why so many people get it wrong. And here's the part I really want you to sit with. Digital privacy isn't about turning invisible. It's about understanding who can see you and when. It's about using the right tools for the right situations. It's about protecting yourself intentionally, not accidentally. Incognito mode won't make you a ghost, but knowing how it works, that makes you smarter than 90% of the internet. And that's the first step, the real step towards online privacy that actually means something. Awareness is your starting point. The rest, you build from here. So next time you open that private window, you'll know exactly what it's doing and exactly what it's not. And that knowledge, that's real digital power. Incognito mode feels like a privacy shield, but it's really just a temporary clean slate. It wipes your tracks at home, but everywhere else, your trail is still visible. Your browser might forget, but the internet never does. And that's not to scare you, it's to empower you. Because once you understand what these tools really do, you can finally make smarter decisions about how you browse, what you share, and how you protect your digital life. Privacy isn't automatic, it's intentional. If this opened your eyes, do me one favor. Subscribe. We break down digital myths and expose the tricks companies quietly hope you don't notice. Share this video with someone who still thinks incognito mode makes them invisible. Trust me, they need this more than they know. And drop a comment. What's one online myth you used to believe? Your story might help someone else stay safer online. Stay aware, stay smart, and as always, stay one step ahead. Thank you for staying to the end, and watch out for the next video.